it is very important to sometimes have to write long documents or thesis. Say you're doing your master's program or your PhD program or even bachelor's degree or something, and you have to type a long thesis or something like that, or you need to do a report of a field trip or something. LaTeX has got you covered. And that's why in this video, we'll be looking at long documents and thesis writing in LaTeX. All right. So, how do you handle long documents? Long documents and thesis writing in LaTeX. The objectives for this particular video include the following: will structure and compile large academic documents efficiently using LaTeX. Now, one of the things I told you when we started out is that LaTeX helps you to be in charge of your work, right? It's not, I mean, if you want a graph in a particular location, you have the agency to make that happen. You have the power to do that. And that may not always be possible with maybe Microsoft Word or something. I think there was this comparison somebody was doing, like when the document is there's a size the document will be and my word keeps making sense. But once it begins to go beyond a particular number of pages, what ceases to make sense and later, makes all the sense, right? So we also learn how to manage multiple chapters, appendices, and references in modular form. So, if you have even if you have like 5 or 6 chapters for your thesis, right? One chapter alone can be like 100 pages of whatever number of pages sometimes, and having everything in one place may be such a problem. So, but doing it in modular form, you have chapters somewhere, you have appendices somewhere, you have references somewhere, and then you have a main document where you just bring everything together. So that makes everything pretty easy to do. So we're going to see that modular thing. Then we'll look at how to generate glossaries, acronyms, indices, and list of figures and tables. Then we create a professional thesis skeleton, or maybe I should call it a template. We create a professional thesis template. All right. Uh, Template suitable for academic submission, then collaborate effectively using Overleaf and Git for version control. Of course, I'm not, I have a Git page, by the way, but I still need a bit of understanding of how it really works. Okay. So let's talk about document classes for long works. So before now, we've been talking about document class article all the way, which is in sections and all that, sections and subsections and all and so on. But then, if you're working with long documents, you have to use things like reports so that because in long documents you probably have chapters, and under chapters you have sections, you have subsections, and things like that. So let's look at the report class. So document classes for long works. The first one is the report class, which is ideal for dissertations, long reports, or project documentation. And the structure is something like document class, 12 points, A4 paper, report. Instead of this report, before now we've always been having article. So article is maybe you want to write a paper in a journal or something like that. So beyond report, now then you can now begin to talk about chapter. So using report document class supports chapter, section, subsection, and so on. And it is common in undergraduate and master's thesis. So you can use a report format if you're an undergraduate or a master's student and you want to write your thesis, right? Then you have the book class, the book class is designed for more formal multi-chapter works, e.g., PhD thesis, books. So in this case, you can use front matter, main matter, back matter for logical separation. And the example here is you can have document class 12.A4 paper, open write. That's you're writing a book, right? So you can open write and then you have book. So in having a book, you can then have something like you can have you can have even book in parts, right? You can have book in parts and then chapters and then sections and subsections and so on and so forth. So in fact, let me bring this in. I think I can borrow some ideas from these 2 points for the book uh for the book document class. I think that's really helpful. Okay. Okay, let me put it down here. So okay, let me put it here. This now. Okay. So this supports, in addition to chapter, right? It also supports parts. So backslash part, and so on. And then followed by chapter. So you can have a book in 3 parts. Like my first book, for instance, it was in 3 parts. So each part has some chapters under it. So maybe some 3, some 4 like that. Then it is common in, let me say, like PhD thesis, PhD, PhD, PhD thesis, PhD thesis, and book publications, right? Book publications like that. So you need to use the book document class in this case. Okay. So how do you know when to choose between a report and a book format, a book document class? All right. So first of all, you have the feature. If you want front matter for Roman numbering, in report it is manual, in book it is automatic. And if you have if you want double-sided printing, it is optional in report, but it is by default in book. Then if you want parts division, it is basic in report and it is advanced in book. If you want if ideal use now in report, you use it for thesis or dissertation, and for book you have book length research. Maybe PhD thesis can also play into that. So let's go ahead and talk about managing chapters with include and impute. So long documents are easier to maintain when divided into smaller files. So if you have a very long document like a book, and it's difficult to, for instance, I'm writing a math textbook with one of my very good mentees, and because the book is so large, it's a book on differential equations. So we have everything separated into different parts, so we can deal with each part separately, and then we have a way of putting everything together at the end of the day. So long documents are easier to maintain when divided into smaller files. So, and to do that, we can use input. So input helps to insert the content in line. An example of that is maybe you have input chapters introduction. So you have a separate document for chapters, right? And in a main document, you just bring input, chapters, and introduction, and then it just brings all of that together. Then include, you also have include there, which inserts. So this inserts as a separate file with its own page breaks, right? An example is include chapters / methodology. So you have input and include. Then you also have it also supports selective compilation, like include only chapters, result, chapters, conclusion. So you can select what you want and remove what you don't want. So typical file structure, when we talk about long documents, will be something like, okay, we're still talking about document classes for long works, right? And this, okay, yeah, we're talking about managing chapters with include and input, sorry. So the third part of that, we have the typical structure in that case would be this, where you have you have the whole thesis, right? And you have a main text, you have a preamble text, then you have chapters like maybe introduction.tech. So each one of this is a separate tech document that you can create and work with them independently, but then everything comes together in the main document got the main. So you have the main, you have the preamble, you have the chapter, the introduction, methodology, results, conclusion, or whatever else you want to include. And then you have the appendices rather, like appendix A, appendix B, separate text file. And then you have your references.beep. So at the end of the day, everything is integrated into the main thesis. I'm going to show you a typical example of that practically. So creating glossaries, acronyms, and indices. So for glossaries, for instance, you need to use the glossaries package. So use package acronym glossaries. Okay, so the package itself is glossaries, but then it has a functionality called acronym, and then you can go ahead and make glossaries. You're going to see how that is done. Then you can also define and print. So to define and print, so you have new glossary entry, LaTeX, name LaTeX, description, a typesetting system for documents. So print glossaries now. Then for acronyms, you have new acronym AI, artificial intelligence, usage in text. Now you just say /GLS AI. And then you can also do index creation, right? You want to create indices for your book. Maybe you want to say this particular word which pages can you find this words, right? So use package make index, then you can also make index. So you now say index differential equation print index. So like you want the word differential equation to appear somewhere, so you can use this kind of thing. Then you have nomenclature. For nomenclature, so you have useful symbol for list. Use package nomenclature, nomen cl, then make nomenclature. Then nomenclature, you have like alpha, and that is learning rates, and print nomenclature, right? Maybe you have some parameters and you want to define. That's how that works. So you're going to see all of this when I show you a very good example. Then you have list of figures, tables, and nomenclature. Automatically generated list enhanced document navigation. So you can generate list of figures using backslash list of figures. You can generate list of tables using backslash list of tables. You can generate nomenclature by using backslash print nomenclature. All right. This should appear after the table of contents, but before the main text, or the list of figures, list of tables, and things like that. Then we have appendices and back matter. So back matter sounds like you're done with the main book, but then there's still some supplementary things you want to put, like appendices. So appendix and back matter. After the main chapters, you have backslash appendix chapter. So under appendix, now it now appears as appendix A or something, and you have derivation of equation chapter appendix B, which will be supplementary data. Then for the back matter for book class, for instance, I mean, back matter actually applies to book class, not report class. So you have backslash back matter, then you print bibliography, print glossaries, and then print index. So all the indices, all the glossaries you have generated previously, or even the bibliography, everything now gets printed at the end of after the main book. And then you have 13.6 collaborative editing, Overleaf plus Git. So using Overleaf, for instance, I mean, I've been using Overleaf a whole lot. So share projects with collaborators for real-time editing. Then for version control, you have Overleaf automatically saves all edits, of course. Then supports Git integration via project URL. Then using Git locally, so you need to initialize a repository. Now I still have some way to go about Git, right? But this is a kind of description if you already are able to use Git. So using Git locally, initialize a repository, and to do that, say git init, git add, git commit -m initial thesis structure. Then you can now so the first step was to initialize a repository. The second step will be to push to remote. Okay, push to remote. So git remote add origin repo -url, then git push -u origin main, then pull into Overleaf. So you can pull from Git to Overleaf. So you can go to menu, GitHub, then link repository. Tip, always commit after completing a chapter or section. Okay. So we have some best practices for large projects. Don't forget to use a preamble.tex file. Okay. Use a preamble.tex file to centralize all packaging and styling. Then use biblatex plus Biber for efficient citation management. I made a whole video talking about biblatex and all that. Then you have compile with LaTeX MK to automate multiple passes. Then store all images in a dedicated figures the dedicated figures folder. All images will be here. So then you can anytime you need to call the figures, you just have figure slash the name of the actual figure. Then use comments, that's percent, and sectioning commands wisely. So don't put comments where you don't want comments to be, because once you put percent, it automatically disables whatever you put it in front of. So let's talk about our mini project, which is a thesis template with chapters, appendices, glossary, and bibliography integration in LaTeX. So this example demonstrates a fully functional long document structure suitable for a master's or PhD thesis with integrated chapters, appendices, glossaries, acronyms, indices, and bibliography all in one .tex file for simplicity. Okay, I mean that's one part of it. So I think we don't need this part because that's not necessarily true. Okay, but the second part will take care of that part now. Okay, so again, I take that. I say this example demonstrates a fully functional long document structure suitable for a master's or PhD thesis with integrated chapters, appendices, glossaries, acronyms, indices, and bibliography. You'll get two consistent tracks that share the same conventions and tooling. So track A, I mean, sometimes some people don't want to stress themselves about, opening different tech files just to work on a single project. So I made sure I made one single file for quick start and teaching. So you just have everything in one document, in one tech document, but the only other thing you have is a references.bib file, which you integrate together to generate. But then the modular thing now, where you have plenty of work. So track B, which is modular, where you have to use include and input for real thesis work, like and then probably involving Overleaf and Git, like that. So both tracks use the same packages: glossary, index, nomenclature setup, biblatex plus Biber, and LaTeX MK automation. So you can switch between them without surprises. Okay. So the conventions are as follows. So first of all, which these conventions apply to both tracks. So you have the class. The class can be report, which is dropping to book book is shown later, right? So drop in swap to book shown later. Then you can remove report and put book to see the difference. Then build order canonical. So you have LaTeX MK-PDF silent main, make glossaries main, Bible main, LaTeX MK-PDF silent main. Then you have core features on by default. Okay, you have glossary plus acronyms for glossaries. Then you have nomenclature, index, make it IDX, bibliothèque with author here, Bible backend. You have TOC, table of content, LOF, list of figures, and you have LOT, list of tables. Then you have fancy headers, consistent geometry and spacing. File naming, you have main file equals main tech, modular or thesis.tech for single file now. So if you're doing the modular one, you have the main tech because you have every other thing all over the place that you integrate together inside of the main tech file. But if you're using a single one, you just have thesis.tech. Then you have figure partner, you have figures placeholder. So here we use it. We probably use a placeholder image name, example image from minimum working example if installed, or use your own. Okay. So if you want to use placeholders like this, you need to install a package called minimum working example. So for track A now, you have single file mini project for teaching and quick demo. So this creates thesis.tech and references.bib in the same folder. You can add LaTeX MKRC later if you like. Okay. So for thesis.tech, now imagine you have the thesis document, starting with document class, the package setup. You have all that here. You have the nomenclature part, all that is done. You have the glossaries and acronyms. You have the indices also done there. You have bibliography, bibliothèque.bible, usage package, and all that. Figure part, you have all that. Title data, you have it. Where you can put title, harmonized single file mini project, and things like that. Thesis template. I like the idea of thesis template, not thesis skeleton. This is not answering. This should work. Okay, yeah, good. I can change that thesis template to thesis thesis skeleton to thesis template. That is thesis template. Okay, so I have that now. So back at that, so we have all those parts. So you see glossaries and acronyms. What makes it possible? Title data, begin document, the single file template demonstrates a fully functional thesis structure, and so on and so forth. So, I mean, that's the document right there. And then you have the references in the .bib file. That's references.bib. That's track A. So that's minimal, right? But for track B is modular. So you have plenty of things. So modular project, production thesis, overleaf and git. So for folder 3, you have this whole thing. Thesis, I've shown this kind of structure before. So you need main tech, preamble.tech, glossary.tech, references.bib, LaTeX MKRC, makefile, git ignore, chapters. You have the chapters, you have the appendices, you have the figures. Then for the main tech now, see, you have the normal documents class kind of thing. But here, what is happening in the whole main tech is you don't see anything special. You don't see the key things here. Here, you just have a compilation of everything you've done all over the place. So include chapters, title page, include chapters, abstract. Of course, after the documents class preamble, begin documents, page numbering, Roman. So you can see impute preamble. So it means even the preamble, all the use package is in another tech document separately, right? Like we've said. So the main tech here is just for you to bring together everything you have done everywhere else. So this is like the headquarters of everything you're doing. Others can be seen like the branches. So everything you've done in those places, so you just bring them together right here. So you can see, imagine if we in this type A thing we did, which is just the single file thing, so you can see how lengthy the whole thing is. But here you just have everything. So you just have keys to bring everything together, like that. Okay. So this is the main.tech. So you're bringing the preamble, begin document, page numbering, Roman, include chapters and title page, include chapters and abstract, table of contents, list of figures, list of tables, print nomenclature, print glossaries, clear page. Then you have page numbering, Arabic, set counter page 1, include chapters, literature, methodology. So you have done this elsewhere, and then you're just bringing them here. Then for appendix, you just have backslash appendix, include appendix A, appendix A, appendix/appendix A, include appendix/appendix B, print index, print bibliography, end document, right? So that's all the main tech is about. But then for the preamble tech, this is where you now put all the package, use package, input encoder, use package font and encoder, use package Latin more than geometry and spacing, use package geometry, use package set space. These are clear the things you want to use for maths and graphics now. You have AMS maths, AMS sim, AMS THM, graphics, floats, book tabs, SI unit X, hyperlinks, hyperref, bookmark, all this. Headers and footers, yeah, fancy header, page style, fancy, blah, blah, blah. Then for the titles, title format, chapter, display, blah, blah, blah. So you set this index, use package, make index, glossaries and acronyms. You have all of these things. So all these things, so this is your preamble. So by just this single line in the main text, in line 2 now, imputes preamble, you automatically just bring all these preambles in over there. And then we have the glossary. Okay, the glossary, you make the glossary.text separately. So, and this is what you have, the new acronym AI, artificial intelligence, FEM, finite element method, NLP, natural language processing, and so on and so forth. So you just define all of that. A high quality typesetting system for scientific document, that's like LaTeX. And then for thesis, a long academic work submitted for a degree. So that's where like you're explaining stuff. And then you have chapters. So for the chapters now, each chapter is in a different file. So for the title page, you also put that into a chapter. So you say begin title page, end title page, and of course, after that, you clear page. So here you have thesis title here. Whatever the thesis title is, you can put that here. So in large format, you can say harmonize modular, blah, blah, blah. Like maybe like a subtitle. For the author, you can put your name, institution, you put it, date, you also put that right here. Then for chapters of abstract.tech now. So for the abstract, you put it in another text file. So it's like another chapter without numbering. Just like, okay, title page will just come as a whole page on its own. So for abstract, this modular template harmonizes long document features with all the table of contents, list of figures, and list of tables, glossary and acronyms, nomenclature, index, and bibliothèque. It's add content list, TOC chapter, like, okay, it aligns with a single, it aligns with a single, why is this not moving? Okay, okay, now this should move, right? Okay, so left main, right? We're back here. Glossary. Why are we back in the beginning? Interesting. All right, so we're talking about, okay, this is for the abstract now. So this seems to, okay, I guess I can double click if it's been to, yeah. So the modular template harmonizes long document features, table of content, list of figures, list of tables, glossary strip acronyms, nomenclature, index, and bibliothèque. It aligns with the single file track for smooth onboarding and migration. So that's the abstract page now. And then the introduction can also be another chapter. So you just have chapter introduction, section background. LaTeX is ideal for long document, blah, 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 blah. Sections, maybe you need to do begin itemize, claim modular architecture for thesis projects, and blah blah. So maybe here now you need a glossary. So you have index glossary, index overleaf, index bibliothèque. So any new word that you wanted to appear in the glossary, you have that right here. So and because I think those words like glossary and all this are appearing here, I think that's why we have that. Yeah. So and then we have another chapter. So for your whole literature review can also appear here. Okay, I think I need to double click this so we can see what we have there. So the literature review, according to something 1924, that all of that will come into another text file altogether. So that's / chapter literature review. So you see, apart from okay, chapter abstract, chapter begin title page, end title. For title page, you have to begin title page and end title page. For abstract, it's just / abstract, right? Then for introduction, / chapter introduction. For literature review, / literature review, and then you have the literature review. Methodology, you have that in another text file. Chapters, you have it in another text file. Then conclusion, another text file. So you just / chapter and whatever that would be. And then you have appendices for appendix /appendix A.tech. You have appendix A supplementary data, linear model, just say something there. Appendix B, you also have that. Extended tables, you have alpha is learning rates, beta is regression coefficient, mu is mean, and all that. Okay. And then you have the references for that again, same reference. And then you have the LaTeX MKRC, basically like this. And then you can make the file. So, and then you have git ignore. Now, to show this in practical, so what I've done, so if you go to the Maths with EJD and talk about LaTeX typesetting, So if you come to the LaTeX template right here, so you see this is the single file one, and you see you have only the references and the thesis. So I can just open this right here. All right. So open this right here. And of course, the way to make this is if you even if you have it separately, just put it in Notepad. Just make sure you save it as tech or save it as beep, whatever you want, and then it will automatically work for you. So we're talking about this is template in LaTeX, single file now. So here you have everything together, which I've shown you already. So you just have only this .tex file and the .beep file. So I run this now and hope to get a result out of this. I guess it might be too much. Okay, well, before I give up on Overleaf, let me check Overleaf because the beauty of Overleaf is that even if there are errors, it will still give you the thing will still look great, I think, as much as possible. So let's go for Overleaf, LaTeX typesetting. Okay. So now what I just want to do is, or maybe I should open a new, yeah, I guess I want to open a new uh, Overleaf altogether. Okay, let me just go for this. I go again. And so what I have, I just want to, okay, maybe let me open a new project altogether, a new project altogether. So let me say new project like this. I say blank project. And then I have, so I say LaTeX. Okay, or let me say thesis template. This is template. And then I create thesis template. So for this thesis template now, okay, oh, it's bringing this, this whole thing. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to now upload that single file thesis template thing. So I just come here and so this single file. Oh, okay, because I ran it before, but I can just okay, I'll just all I need is this two. I'll just pick these references and thesis. That's all I need. So I just is that what I called it? Yeah. Thesis.tech. Yeah. So we'll just open it and then it just comes in here. So all I just need to do is go to this thesis and then compile it basically. And even if there are errors, number one, Text Studio Overleaf can help me correct my errors, and it will still work with the errors sometimes. Except the only challenge I can have is it can time me out. Yeah, you can see this is okay. I don't like the skeleton word. I've been changing it all the way. Where is the word here now? I don't like this. Yeah, this is template. Okay. Of course, the idea of skeleton is that it's like a framework basically. So we have this. So I mean, what could not run in LaTeX, it's running perfectly here with only one error. So and it can help me fix the error also. So it wants me to use book instead of report based on maybe the way I did it. So I just accept, and then the error is gone. Okay. So I have to see template in LaTeX. So with this now, you can see, you can put your name, you can put your institution, you can put your date. You can even make it final. You can even make it further. You can put the logo of your institution. So you have the abstract. So you have all the content, introduction, blah, blah, blah. See, conclusion appendix, blah, blah. Then you have list of figures, list of tables, nomenclature, glossary, a high quality typesetting system for scientific documents. And then you have chapter 1. Okay, you see the acronyms. So if you have some acronyms, it comes here. Nomenclature, alpha, beta. So if you need to tell us all these words, then acronyms, chapter 1, and you have your chapter 1 right here, background, objectives. Chapter 2, literature review with a placeholder image. Chapter 3, you have methodology, document organization, learning rates, alpha 0.05, and all those things. Chapter 4, result and discussion, compilation workflow. You show it. You show the output. Chapter 5, yeah, I'm a nice single file. Skeleton is a teaching vehicle that mirrors the modular track. And then you now have under appendices now. Okay, so for appendices, you now have chapter appendices, supplementary data, index, so all the bibliography, glossary, so all the pages. So all these things are automated, by the way. And then you have your bibliography, all the bibliography you're using. And that's, here now you have just the two things right there. Okay. So So now, what I can delete, I can remove all this now. I can just delete everything. Okay. Um, okay. Let me remove the references and everything for the single file thing now. I just delete them and bring the modular one where everything is full. Of course, you can always correct anything inside there. So delete. So now I want to upload the whole the other one. For instance, should I okay, let me go back here. Go back to, is it downloads now? I think it's desktop inside this place. LaTeX type setting, LaTeX this is template. Then I go for the modular one. So you see all those things we talked about, the chapters are here. So abstract, introduction, literature, methodology, results, and title page. So in fact, if you need this template, you can just let me know. So I can send it to you so you can, in case you want to write your thesis or something. But you have to do more, like maybe if you want to put logo and all that, you can do that. The appendices are in one folder. So everything that is like, all these ones are in folders. But then this is the Git ignore glossary, its own tech file, the LaTeX MKRC, main, makefile, preamble, blah, blah. So what I'm going to do now is to uh, upload all of this into Overleaf. So I can overwrite whatever has been there before. Okay. Documents updated externally. Good. So now that we have this, so I can just go to main. So this is the main document now. So the main just compiles everything from everywhere else. So you see, so if I just run this now, it just looks through everything we have in all these places and just compiles them. Okay, I mean, that's, I think it's taken like it's too much. Compile limit. Okay, good. But not a problem. So let's try that. Let's try that inside of in Text Studio. Let's see if we can get it done in Text Studio. So I'm just going to close this up and then uh okay, maybe I can just I can go here for instance, here, then LaTeX typeset is still this, the modular. Then I can click on this main. So every other thing is there, right? So I can let this go. So I run this. So it's just showing the everything, just bringing everything together. So you can see it runs it and then it shows me the PDF document. Though you are not seeing any of these things directly here. Okay. So it just shows me all of that and brings me the PDF document. It's taking a bit of time because it's running through several, yeah. So finally we have that. So this is titled a harmonized modular LaTeX template. So just like what we have before, except that it's not in one document. Everything is all over the place. So if you want to work on chapter 1, for instance, all you just need to do is go to chapters and click on, maybe you want to work on, if you want to work on any of this, let me just use chapter 1 as an example, like say the introduction. So I just click on introduction. So if you want to add more things here, you know, um, so LaTeX is ideal for blah, blah, blah. Then let me just, maybe I need to copy and paste this. I just want to do minimal stuff. I just want to copy and paste this, right? I just copy and paste basically. And then that's talking about introduction now. So I just run that. So when I run it, guess what happens? You find out. Okay, it's taking a bit of time. Okay, process exited normally. So that's introduction, right? Let's see. Has it finished? So you can see I just copied and pasted the objectives twice. That's what has happened here. So when you work on a separate chapter and you run it, the main document, in fact, let me close this and see what happens. So let me run this again, right? So when I run this, I only updated the introduction part now, and then it's the whole document that gets that will be projected. So if you work on a part, it compiles the whole when it's time to compile, right? And then you see the whole thing going that way down to the appendices. Here I don't we don't have the glossaries. Okay. Uh, let me go back to the main again and see what we have there. So main, where is main? Okay. This is about the chapters, right? So I go back here. So modular. So the main this is the main, yeah. Okay. Then I run that again. Yeah, we have print bibliography. So why am I not seeing the bibliography? It's still running, process started. So when it shows process completed or something like that, process existed normally, yeah? So that's it. So we have everything. So I think I just want to see the bibliography now. Or does the bibliography come before the appendices here? This chapter 5. Why are we not seeing the bibliography? That's the concern I have now. Hmm. Okay, let me see. Do we have the bibliography here normally? I think it's under chapters. Bibliography. Is it supposed to be on its own? Okay, let me go back to this place. What is the bibliography? Yeah, references.bib. Oh, okay. I think I know the trouble. References.bib. Do we have references.bib in this place? References.bib. I think it should be it should be a separate file for the modular. Do we have references? Yeah, it's here. Okay. Yeah, for some reason I'm not seeing that, but it should normally come out. But it's okay. Like, I mean, if you need this kind of template, you can let me know, like that. So yeah, with this, okay, let me check one more time. Okay, it's still not there. Okay, no worries. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is it because nothing was cited somewhere? Okay, let me go back into maybe one of the chapters. Maybe nothing was cited. Let me go to chapter. Let me go to literature review, for instance. Wasn't something cited here? So like I do cite. Yeah, you can see it's even showing me the options. So cite notes this. Okay. So let me just say according to notes. Then I just say blah blah blah. And then I run all of that. So if it doesn't still show, I'll just go on. No worries. I'll just round it off. But I mean, we saw it in the other case. So like sometimes you need a lot of patience to work with LaTeX. Okay, we still don't have it. Not to worry. Yeah, so that's the end of this one. Uh, talking about long documents and thesis writing in LaTeX. Let me know how helpful this is for you. And if there's something else you'd like me to try out, feel very free to let me know. If you have subscribed already, I thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, of course, you want to subscribe right away and hit the notification bell so you can get alerted each time I release a new video. Beyond that, you can become a member of this channel, and that comes to some special privileges. Just click on join, and you'll find that right there. Ultimately, don't forget to comment, like, and share so that more people can have access to the great content I have going on here. Till I come your way again, keep doing LaTeX right. Bye.